Mortgage. Everything we do is engineered to amaze.
Individual results may vary. Call us for cost information. Other restrictions may apply. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Welcome back, folks. Fred Dreyer here behind the mic, along with good friend Michael Horn. Now, Michael, you know, I've been every once in a while I go down to my favorite bookstore.
Really?
And I go down to my favorite bookstore and I just meander and peruse and take about 4 or 5 hours out of the day and sit down and I'll pick up about 4 or 5 books. And one of the books that I'm reading right now is Ann Coulter's Demonic.
Ooh, I've heard some things about that.
How the liberal mob is endangering America. And I highly recommend this book to everybody because what it does, it informs you. It informs you as to what is happening in politics today. It gives you a real good understanding of what is occurring on the left, what's happening to you. If you're a right-minded, commonsensical person like we are here, and you follow this show and you understand that what we're trying to get you to do is to think for yourselves, not to be a Republican or to be a Democrat, certainly, but understand what the enemy is. The enemy is the mob. And she does a beautiful job, Mike, of articulating that very fact and giving you tremendous historical proof and examples of just what a mob is. And remember, we have a constitutional republic that has been under assault since its inception. The attack on America and the American way of life has not stopped. It's just changed shapes and faces and generations. And it's great to understand. She goes through, what the 60s was about, certainly all the way back to the French Revolution, to the American Revolution, and to understand that it's mob rule versus civilization, Western civilization, and that's what we live. We live in the ultimate of Western civilization, a constitutional republic. That's what drives us. That's what we believe in. That's what this country is. And once you read this and you understand, oh, I see. That's what's happening to me. Then you understand what's going on here with these Occupy people, these morons, these feckless reprobates who are out in public disrupting harmony, purposely breaking the law and disrupting harmony. They're not out there exercising their rights. They are coming in under the banner of I am an American and I have certain rights. What they're doing is they're disruptive. They are anarchists. They are terrorists. And once you understand what's happening to you, then you have an understanding of how to decipher and understand what our candidates are conservative, hopefully conservative, but our Republican candidates are now trying to relay to the American people. And we're going to have some sound bites here, and we can go through them, certainly, like we always do. But what's interesting is that Ann Coulter's book, Demonic, How the Liberal Mob is Endangering America, is critical to your understanding of what's happening right now.
Very good. That's out of bookstores now. Good gift-giving idea for the holidays.
And we are going to definitely have Ann on the show here at some point in time. Good. I've got my contact, Frank Luntz, my good friend Frank Luntz, and when we get up and rolling here, and we can fit people into our schedule, and they can fit us actually into their schedule.
Yes.
Then we're going to have a nice conversation with Ann about her book and about everything else that's been going on. Now, there's some things here that is very prominent. We have right now in the culture, we have all of our candidates are now getting momentum in trying to appeal to the base of the Republican Party and trying to find out and trying to shake down who is going to be the nominee. And so far, we've got a couple of very good candidates. I think Michelle Bachmann is a good candidate. I think Rick Santorum is a good candidate. I think Newt Gingrich, who's rising very fast, is a very good candidate. He articulates things very well. I think Mitt Romney is a very good candidate. He articulates things very well. He's gotten an awful lot better in the last couple of years. He's really homed in, Mike, on his ability to articulate and deliver his message. And here's what's interesting. He believes it. I believe all these people here. The one thing that I really have a strong sense of is that all of our candidates really believe in what they're saying. They're not just yapping to win a vote or yapping to become president. They actually do believe very strongly in what they believe in, and that is Americanism, and that is the Constitution. So we've got a couple of sound bites here that we interspersed along with Chris Matthews. You know how much I loathe this person.
He's got a new book out, doesn't he? Speaking of books.
Yeah, he's pushing his book, and
it's about JFK,
it's really interesting.
John F. Kennedy.
You know, he's a capitalist. He's a big socialist when he stands up in front of the people and he tries to sell people on a failed politic and a business model that's destroying Europe right now. He has the guts to do that, but then turns right around and wants you to buy his book that's all about Kennedy. You know, his favorite president, and that's fine. But at the same time, he's out there saying things and trying to get people to listen to him to give the impression that he's fair and balanced. There's nothing fair or balanced about anybody on the left. And Chris Matthews is selling his book. So what we did is we wove in some of the things that he said, along with a couple of things that Joe Biden said, and John Kerry, and certainly President Barack Obama. And so our first soundbite is Barry
President Barack Obama, Barry.
Talking about, I call him Barry. Come on,
you do.
Barry Soweto. And, the Soweto, the gardening magnet.
Gotcha.
So let's go to number 2, Tommy. And this is Barry talking about our budget.
Now, the question right now is whether we can reduce the deficit in a way that helps the economy grow, that operates with a scalpel, not with a hatchet.
Right.
And if not, whether Congress is willing to stick to the painful deal that we made in August for the automatic cuts. Already, some in Congress are trying to undo these automatic spending cuts. My message to them is simple. No. I will veto any effort to get rid of those automatic spending cuts to domestic and defense spending. There will be no easy off-ramps on this one.
He's on the highway.
He's on the superhighway there. No easy off-ramps. Probably got to make a U-turn.
He's not getting off.
No, he's just going to go. Well, he's going ahead. He's let those cuts happen.
Well, what's interesting is that all of the things that he's saying now has no traction, because not only does he not believe them, we've already heard them, and we already know that what he's saying, it belies all of his behavior over the last 2.5 years, 2 years plus, and so Chris Matthews, in his pushing and selling his book, had this to say about Barack Obama.
There's nothing to root for. What are we trying to do in this administration? Why does he want a second term? Would he tell us? What's he going to do in the second term? More of this? Is this it? Is this as good as it gets?
Yeah.
I think that is as good as it gets, right?
Isn't that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Even Chris is turning on him.
No, well, believe me, once you put this, and he has, once you put this politic up on its feet and you get the stench of this thing and get downwind or get near it, you can't help but believe that everybody, including Chris Matthews, is going to be the first one on the bus to get himself out of here. But that being as it may, we have more sound bites coming back, and you're not gonna believe what Joe Biden has to say here. We'll be right back.